Now we're live.
Nick, how can we cure all disease?
Drinking?
Yes.
Alcohol in moderate amounts is healthy.
There you go. That's according to doctors in the
We're going to cure alcoholism with more alcohol.
Yes. We've got alcoholic spirits that are medicinal and laced with cocaine.
And since Lady Leah's here, we should also mention alcohol cures all mental illness as well. So yeah.
Right. Anyway, hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Mac Wellstar. Tonight, we are going to look at Oktoberfest beers. Prost. So, first of all, let's introduce who we have with us tonight, starting with the Beard. How you doing, Beard?
I'm doing.
Red Beard.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I've
tired.
Got a. Where the hell are these guys even from? Kitchener. Okay, this is a can of Fest beer from Stockyards Brewing out of Kitchener, Ontario. Pretty sure I've never had anything by this brewery before. And it's 5.5% ABV, 473 milliliter can.
Never heard of them. I wonder. Sorry,
this was at least, well, that is the most. I can't read that date code. Good times. Yeah, that's my beer.
I'm kind of curious, like what Stockyards Brewing, like where are they from in Kitchener? Because I wonder if they maybe like a new brewery that opened up in where Descendants was. All right, we'll look up later.
Ooh.
So there's your thumbnail. All right, so okay, so speaking of, it's Miss Hardy, public educator extraordinaire.
Wow,
how you doing, Lady Lee?
I'm good. I am good. I'm actually really good. I had a really good day today. I'm feeling on a pretty good high.
No, dirty snow was eaten.
There's no snow yet to eat, so I haven't had to yell at anybody or
tell
anybody
good.
not to eat their snow, dirty snow. And
take them on a field trip to an arena.
Dirty snow.
Oh,
no dust stairs yet. Not yet.
Is the snow in an arena dirty though?
Oh, the stuff that's dumped by the Zamboni is that people spit. Blood potentially, things on the ice that are scraped up and then put into that. Yeah, that snow pile is a biohazard.
So I mean, that would definitely be a good thing to teach kids not to eat.
It's always disturbing when I come out of the door and there's like some parents letting their kids play in it and stuff, and it's like, get those kids out of there right now.
Lovely.
Yeah, good times.
Nice. So, what'd you bring with you tonight, Lee?
I am so disappointed.
Oh.
I don't know why. I don't know if this wasn't in the area. I don't know what's going on. Usually I have like a good selection where I am. So I literally scraped at the bottom of the barrel. I literally got the beer that I didn't want to do because I read all these like really cool ones that the LCBO had, but my area had none. Except for this lovely one.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
It's the Creemore Oktoberfest.
If anything, that one's been around for a while. You know, it's a.
There were so many interesting sounding ones. There were so many better cans that I saw like on the website. It just seemed like they were just teasing me, and then I just end up disappointed, which is usually pretty normal around a bunch of men anyway.
Yeah.
It's fun, like you mentioned earlier before we got live, that like where you are, you generally have a pretty impressive selection compared to what's here in North Bay. When it comes to like Oktoberfest beers and stuff, there's like 6 or 7 to choose from here in town right now, at least.
I picked out my pumpkin beer because I had a selection to choose from at the LCBO that I was at. Like,
I love the head movements when she's telling you off. Like, I picked out my pumpkin beer.
It's my frustration. It's my frustration.
I didn't feel told off at all. As far as that goes, I think that there is nothing but like a few of the kind of good old reliables for pumpkin beers here in town right now. I haven't even really looked for the next week.
You know what's nice about the ones I picked? They're refrigerated.
Instead of being LCBO barrel aged.
No, 2 of the 3 LCBO here in town are pretty good for keeping their shit in the fridge.
Alexandria has, I think, a small selection of beers that is not refrigerated. All of the beers, all the rest are refrigerated, no matter what they are. There's just a huge fridge in the back. It's way bigger than any of the ones in North Bay.
Oh, really?
and it has way better
Wow.
section. Yeah, it's fucking huge. Like
How
I was honestly surprised.
What's the population of Alexandria?
3,300.
That's hilarious. Well, the LCBO in Algonquin keeps almost all their beer in the fridge, but the fucking the stuff that's on sale, whatever that like they'll have at the end of the SKUs kind of thing, that stuff can sit out for a month at a time. Sometimes kind of pisses me off, but
It's
you guys,
here's Rob Boulet.
Boulet.
This is your shirt's epic.
I like this shirt. It's cool.
Cheers, Rob. I don't have a beer to cheers with because Brett Beard keeps talking. But longer.
anyway.
Alrighty. Okay.
Yes. Just frustration. Alexandria is between Ottawa and Montreal, so that's probably why they have such a big LCBO, because there are people.
A lot of truckers.
But in general, fuck this looking for this beer. God damn it. And my app wasn't working, or and my phone wasn't working for internet. So I'm in there trying to like Google beers to see if I can find them, see what I'm missing. Like there should be some. Like, how is there not? Anyways, yes. Anyway, that's my frustration today. Other than that, I had a really good day today.
We'll talk more about that when we talk about your beer history. Alrighty, let's move along. Thank you, Lately. Let's go over to Greggy. Hi, Greggy.
Since it's my turn, I want to talk about something. I have a question for Mr. Beard. Oh, that shirt is epic, apparently. Is my shirt epic? Look, it's an albino rhino shirt from long ago. It's only got one hole in it.
I didn't know you had any of those shirts. Wow.
I do actually have some. Some of them have holes in them, believe it or not, but that's okay. It's perfectly suitable for Nick. I have a question for Mr. Beard and Mrs. Hardy. Ms. Hardy. In North Bay, do you have like the walk-in fridges, or are they just like the regular fridges where you just open up and take what you want?
Two of them have a walk-in fridge. One of them does not. One of them just has like the one downtown used to have the best selection by far, but the worst fridge space. And now their selection is kind of okay, but they've taken over at least 75% of their beer selection with craft seltzers and stuff now.
Of course,
especially in the fridge.
The seltzers have to be refrigerated, right?
For some reason, the only beer you can always count on being in the fridge at that LCBO is Sparkle Puff, unless you want like Laker Ice or something. The only craft beer that's the only one that's always in the fridge there. It's really weird.
You gotta keep it.
That's fucked. That's fucked. Because all craft beer here is kept in a cooler.
So the other reason I was gonna ask is because usually, at least in Toronto, can't vouch for Alexandria, but usually when LCBOs get a makeover, so they go from their old look to new look, they put in the walk-in beer fridge. The older LCBOs older LCBOs that don't have a makeover, they still have the old either no fridge or very limited fridge space. So that's usually probably the one in Alexandria, as lately just confirmed. It's probably a new one or a new renovation or something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the one downtown, I've been in the back area and stuff. Like there is no reason that they don't have some kind of walk-in fridge. Like that place has so much storage space in the back.
It's probably just their however their budget works. They're going to say no. We'll redo this one when it's time or whatever.
So Alexandria had a really tiny one. And yes, they renovated to the bigger one, a lot bigger. And yes, they did the fridge space. So yes, you are correct.
Nice.
Yeah, our local one's like just literally 2 minutes from here. They used to be a lot smaller, and then what they did is, I guess, when the lease or whatever ran out on the place next to them, they bought or leased the place next to them, then tore down that wall and then turned it into one big LCBO. And basically, the new space was almost entirely fridge space. It's great. They don't have the greatest selection in the world, but they do have a lot of fridge space.
A lot of the new, like when I went to Sudbury, it's been a while now, but like when I used to do the Hood Fan stuff, and I'd go there and be on time to check out some beer store. Their beer stores are basically you walk in, and there's like the area you pay and stuff, and maybe like and a little kind of cooler with some stuff on display, but everything in there is also cold. And then you walk in to the giant, basically warehouse of beer. And the beer store in Sudbury, like pretty decent craft beer selection. The beer store here in North Bay, pretty shit craft beer selection. And none of them have that's like the new beer store thing. Like none of the beer stores here are even remotely updated to that. Like the one beer store in town, fuck.
Yeah, beer stores don't seem to renovate. It's only when they open new locations that they do the walk-in fridge. But like beer stores around here in Toronto, like the older style ones, they never bother to change.
The one store.
All right.
One store.
Hey, Greg.
Let's get this back on track.
Hey, what
Greg,
beer do you have?
Beer.
What beer do you have?
Hey, listen, Nick, we're trying to
shit,
pad your
sorry.
show, so it's
No.
not over in 5 minutes. Anyways, so I have two
Like
beers
your
to
sex
choose
life?
from.
We only been going for 10 minutes. Feels like longer.
2 beers to choose from.
I have two beers to choose
beers.
from.
Oh,
Much like my sex life, I like to have more than one to choose from. And I decided to pick actually, neither one of them is at the LCBO. I had one from GLB, shock of shocks. But I decided to do this one instead. So this is from Bridgewater Brewing. It is a small brewery in Welland. It is 5 minutes from my mom's place. Bavarian Sunset Marzen. So from Bridgewater. They're located in lovely Welland, Ontario. And if anyone wants to get your private parts sugared, I happen to know a lady that runs a sugaring salon right beside this place. So I won't mention it online, but if anyone wants to get their parts sugared away, I know Chris probably does. Chris,
what the fuck does that mean?
Sugaring your private parts.
It's just a different. Think
like
of it like wax. Yeah, it's like waxing, but apparently it's better for your skin.
Oh,
Hair removal.
okay.
If you want to remove your hair in a incredibly painful way, there you go.
Apparently sugaring is less painful than wax. I can neither confirm.
It's like a Brazilian, but more Argentinian.
Hairs, ripping them out of the pores from your skin in a very delicate area. It's still.
Why is it called sugaring? Or is it like...
I think it's like a sugary blobby solution that they use.
Sugaring.
Okay.
Like a
all right. So, Greg,
I have a waxing story about that. Are you?
Good Lord.
We're just learning all sorts of stuff tonight. Hi, Nick. How are you?
So did you have a second beer to show, or are you just talking about that?
No, I was talking about. I will probably drink it before the show ends, but right now, no. I'm just doing this beer tonight.
Nice.
And it is not low ABV. So if the albino rhino is watching, he will not be happy.
I wouldn't call that high
to,
ABV though, like 5.8. That's not high.
Well, but if you had farm workers working in the field all day, Carrie, would you want to just give them a whole bunch of this so they get annihilated and just start like killing each other with sickles?
Oktoberfests aren't for the farm workers. Jesus Christ! All right. I mean, it's for the farm workers, yes, but after they finished harvesting.
Well, yeah, it's a reward. You get fucked up, enjoy. You know, there you go.
Exactly.
Kill each other.
It's for a party. Prost. All right. Now it's my turn to thank you, Greg. Put me up on the screen. And I'm gonna do something. I didn't buy a local beer. I bought something actually from Germany. Because
literally sponsored by Cadillac.
At NB liquor store in ANBL in New Brunswick. It's the shittiest Oktoberfest selection I've ever seen. And I'm really hoping that I could get into politics. I just hope they're soon done and they replace whoever's at the top.
Nick, you will never get into politics.
Really fucking shitty.
Skeletons.
All right, really fucking shitty management over the selection of beer at NB Liquor is horrible right now. Which is kind of why BA101 this last couple of years has been suffering. Not the only reason. I guess that's not the only reason. All right, so I got something that's actually traditional German, sort of, but this is the Oktoberfest from Erdinger Oktoberfest. And if you're thinking what we might all be thinking if you know about Erdinger, is like, is that a wheat beer? Yeah, this is an Oktoberfest wheat beer. Technically speaking, this is not a Marzen. This is just an Oktoberfest brewed special edition of Erdinger Weiss beer. But it's still Oktoberfest, so it counts. The only other Oktoberfest beer at Lindy liquor stores right now is Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which I'm glad is back. But again, shit selection. All right. So, do we want to? Yeah, we might as well circle back and go right back to Redbeard. And Redbeard can talk about his history of this beer. That's about it.
Yeah. Fest beers in general, I've had like a couple every year around this time. It's not something I gravitate towards. They're not like there's a pretty big, I don't know, I want to say like variance in style as far as what you can do and call it a fest beer. Like I'm not sure what the actual German guidelines are. I'm sure one of Nick, do you know what is there like any kind of?
Well, it's usually usually a Marzen beer, but it's like basically a beer brewed for the Oktoberfest festival. In Germany,
that's
in Munich, Germany.
So if anybody doing it here is kind of doing it with that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, like going back to mine, like it makes kind of sense that Erdinger, like one of the major German breweries, would be making a beer especially for that fest, because I mentioned they have their own beers entered there. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You didn't at all. Like the water, barley, malts, hops, yeast. Wow, barley. Why can't I? Does that say coriander? No, contains barley. So it's doing that stupid. The laws of our land that make no sense as far as ingredients go. Yeah, it's. I don't even know like what, as far as the brewing style, makes this the best beer. It's got flavors comparable to other beers I've had that aren't fest beer. I don't know.
Well, it's probably just a beer that they brewed for a German themed beer they brewed for a festival.
It probably used a specific malts or something that's, German inspired in some way. But yeah, anyway, go on before I keep talking and give my review right now or something. Go.
Right. All right. So speaking of which, I wanted to talk to Jamie's, who might rewatch this episode. Is the only one that's going to care about this. He recognizes this particular area of Waterloo back in his old home country. This is where Stockyard Brewing is.
Apparently. This is where?
Stockyard Brewing in Waterloo, on Kitchener, Ontario, where Jamie's. I'm not sure if it's where Jamie's originally from, but it's where Jamie was for the longest time when he first met us. So,
anyway. Mr. Lee, with the October beers are so
Lee's
fast and loose on rules. Marzens should be around 5% darker. So this obviously isn't a Marzen. The beer I'm drinking is not fucking dark at all. It's just a Marzen is a style of beer. Best beer is, you know what I mean? That's where they're going way more of the fast and loose thing, I feel like. And it's like, what did they do? Again, there's room on this can. They could have wrote some little something aside from just like traditional Bavarian style fest. Okay, I guess that I don't know what a Bavarian style fest beer is, but I guess that's what they're going for. I missed that until now somehow. But yeah,
all right,
sure.
Okay, let's go over to. Was it like amber to brown? Oh, for the color.
I just want to hear you again. That's all.
So the masked teacher.
Play with my hair.
Yeah. All right, Lily, what's your history with Creemore? And you can continue to talk about your frustration with the LCBO if you want.
No, it's okay. I did it. It's done now. I have none. I don't even think I had the other Creemore. I don't think I made that.
Oh, really?
So I have had none. I have drank none of their beers. I've had none. Didn't they have like? I can't remember. Anyways, this is a first for Creemore.
Nice.
Yay!
Woo! Woo! All right, so let's go over to Le Gregoire.
As he takes a sip of his pepper hedge.
That is my third beer, but more importantly, Stein is the other beer I was going to bring. GLB Marzen. Let's pour this. I'm pretty sure it's nitrous.
Is that like an oversized can?
No, it's a regular sized can. I'm just pouring it down the middle because I thought it was nitro, but
Jesus fucking support.
So anyway, this will need to settle because I am going to be comparing these two beers, although I won't be rating this one, but I will be comparing them. So this will need to settle for our next segment. So there we go. That's a perfect pour right there for Oktoberfest. Give myself a proper Oktoberfest. I was gonna say mustache, but it wasn't quite in the right place.
No, that's after. That's what you do after the Oktoberfest.
That's well,
If you're not too drunk, I guess.
If you're not too drunk at Oktoberfest, you're doing it wrong.
Going to actual Oktoberfest is pretty
my
cool.
fourth step.
I've seen like many, like some of the servers there, like the beer girls, whatever. The number of beers some of them can carry at one time, like not just the balance and stuff, but the fucking upper body strength they have to be able to have to carry that shit. It's honestly really impressive.
Because that's what I'm staring at.
Yeah.
What when they're carrying the beer and you can't see anything else? Yeah, like maybe the legs, I guess, but yeah, like
the ass.
If they're bringing it to you, you're not going to see the ass unless you're like creepily
booties.
walking behind them and like
probably
following.
Well, you're not the only person there though. I mean, they're going to walk by you at some point. You're not the only person they're serving.
Oh no, true, but I'm just saying like that whole carrying.
Also, when they put down the beer, their boobs go boobs. Look at us, we're boobs. Hey,
look at my titties.
Boobies.
Boobs on parade.
Boobs on parade.
I
rage against
we need to go to an Oktoberfest.
The rage against the rage against the vagine.
I love those women who just show off their like abilities.
I thought you were going to go with rage against an mammogram.
Because they usually have this like confidence about them, and they're like, "Yeah, I know I'm hot, and I love it. I fucking love it. They can take all my money. Not that I have any right now, but
well, they can still take it all.
Yeah, what little I have left. Yeah, unfortunately,
they can take some debt away from you.
I know some kind of pigment challenged albino is actually in the chat.
See that? We'll read the comments here momentarily, but go back to your history about the specific beer you're reviewing tonight, not the GLB, Greg.
I said it, Nick. You weren't listening, but that was my third and fourth sip you saw on camera. You ready for the fifth one? Here we go.
All right. So it's your
I wasn't prepared for that.
I've never had this beer before. I've only had beer from this brewery one time before, and I will get to that in my review. But yes, this is the first time I've ever had this.
Cool. All right. Right on. Okay, so it's my turn to talk about Erdinger Oktoberfest from Bavaria. I think it's brewed for Bavaria. I think it's from Erding, Germany. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Of course, it's a wheat beer. Given it's a wheat beer, it's really ridiculously hard to pour in a glass like this. I'm sure it would fill up the entire thing if I wasn't giving a fucking mountain ahead. I've had to drink like a pound of air right now so far.
Who doesn't like head here?
Well, anyway, gratuitously foamy head.
Who doesn't like gratuitously foamy heads?
Fuck. All right, so I
wait long enough between sessions and
stop interrupting me. Sorry. All right, I had to look up on my phone when the first time I had Erdinger Oktoberfest was, and I found this picture from September or August or something of 2020. So that was the first time it showed up here in New Brunswick, probably. At least this is my oldest photo on my phone of that particular beer. It shows up here. It used to show up here every year. I think it's been spotty the last couple of years, but it showed up again this year as one of the only two beers that are Oktoberfests in the ANBL. Of course, I've had it. I've not reviewed it. I don't even think I've ever brought it on one of our BA101 BYOB episodes. So that's my history. I'll talk about what I think of the taste as soon as I can fucking taste it. So, who wants to read some comments?
I can do it, I guess. Where we at? Scroll. We've done that one. Lee says, sounds like Alexandria is a real Socktoberfest.
We didn't.
And then Miss Hardy
he went
keeping
there.
the kids focused on the lesson plan. We read that one. Did that one. Albino says Creemore is still a cool stopping. I'm not a fan of their beers, really.
No, but the town of Creemore is very nice to visit.
But no, like I was gonna say, if I was in that area, I'd probably. I like.
Thank you.
Checking out different breweries is always fun, and I wouldn't mind just being there, checking it out.
Yeah.
What Lee said right here is pretty valid. Creemore used to be really, really good. Now they're just there.
Yeah, they're just kind
Um,
of like blended into the background noise of every other acquisition
And then
AB InBev has made.
does
I will still
Waterloo? I
say
have no idea what. I'm sure there are some places in Canada where there are some pretty cool Oktoberfest festivals that happen, like nowhere
I
near
don't
the
know what the fuck
German type
Waterloo
shit or
does.
in Europe.
Oh, the town of Waterloo. I
No.
thought you meant the Waterloo
Yeah,
Brewing
Waterloo
Company.
Kitchener.
Yeah, no, they
Eh.
do. I think they have one of the biggest Oktoberfest in Ontario, if I'm not mistaken. They do that
Oh.
every year.
Nice.
September 25th to October 11th. So technically, this is still Oktoberfest season for them.
Hey! Last comment. I'm assuming maybe in reply to when I said mammogram against the machine.
Or like
Nick's incel
Rage
new
Against the
metal in.
Vagine, I think is what I said.
You said that, and I said I'm not sure which was referring to, but yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that does sound like an incel band.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck
Good
you,
times.
Lee.
Wee.
So we come back out to the Foursquare.
What?
That's
This is where the battle royale starts.
Oh, but there's nobody bukkake in the middle. Damn it, Nick.
Just all over each other.
All right, everyone, just go. I'm
Oh,
putting this
new comment. Bose. But Bose used to be. I remember they used to have a huge Oktoberfest, but now are like they have kind
Maybe
of just.
You could ask the person who's in Vankly Kill
They
right now.
used to have. Well, there you go.
We could do that,
Yeah.
but I like. Well, here's the thing. You like. Do you go to Bose now and then, or like have you? I'm assuming you've been at least once.
Vankly Kill has 1,100 people. I drive by it every single day.
Okay, because like just it's Bose in general used to be. They used to make so many.
Yeah, like
cool
11 years ago,
beers.
they used to make a whole pile of different.
You could
German
tell. Okay,
style
so make
beers.
me laugh.
I want to say, was it 4 times a year? Like they do their seasonal mix packs, and they'd always shove a can. They'd always shove a bottle of lug tread in your throat, but they gave you a bunch of new stuff, and it was awesome. Go ahead, Lily. I'm sorry. That was it.
So it makes me laugh because you could tell like it's a real small town brewery that like caters to the people in the community, because all they have is kegs. I was looking at their website and it's mostly just kegs. I'm like, yeah, this is literally just for like the community, just for when they have like their farm parties or the barn parties. Just be like, yeah, let's get a couple kegs from the local brewery. That's it. Because like they have nothing. Like I went for selection because I saw that they had an Oktoberfest beer. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm right by the brewery. I could grab it. And no, it's literally just lug tread, a bunch of fucking lug tread. Just different size kegs.
Yeah, like they used to make so much interesting shit all the time, and basically ever since they sold the brewery to the employees, that was a whole thing that happened, and it was like in the news, and it was like praising it. This is so cool and everything, and I was expecting big things, and just like.
Aren't they owned by Steam Whistle now? I'm pretty sure they are.
That happened as well.
Yeah,
and that was after that, but yeah, they're even. I guess they've kind of stayed the course of being boring. Because again, I feel like they stopped being super interesting around the time they sold to the employees, and then Steam Whistle bought them off, and they've just continued to be. There's a couple, like I have a can of double juiced AF. It's one of those huge cans that I've got for beer review or something. I've had the regular juiced AF, and it's a decent New England IPA. But again, like they used to be so much more interesting and cool.
I just think it's funny because I always hear people saying the name, and a lot of people butcher the name, and a lot of people like to just call it Van Cleek. So they just say Van Cleek. Like it's Vankly Kill. It's it. It's Vankly Kill.
Why?
Vankly Kill.
Is that how it's pronounced, or is it pronounced differently?
Vankly Kill. That's how it's pronounced.
Vankly
Vankly
Kill?
Kill.
Right.
How do people butcher the pronunciation?
Van Cleek. Or Van Click. They'll say Van Click Hill.
Oh, Van Click. Yeah.
Van Click.
Then click.
Or just say Van Cleek. They don't say Hill. They just say Van Cleek.
Oh, Van Cleek Hill. Okay.
Fair enough.
Van Cleek. They stop it. They just end it there. I'm like, Van Cleek Hill. There's Hill at the end. No, it's Van Cleek. Like, no.
Oh,
Van
Hill,
Cleek
no.
Hill. I drive by it all the fucking time. I know exactly what the town is.
It's like my hometown of North. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're Carrie's right. Experimental brews stopped during the employee ownership saga. That was the best fucking time of Bose. Bose has been dead to me since they stopped doing that.
I was part of their, I think it was year 2 of their, I think they did 3 years of their barrel aged bullshit where it was like you're part of a club. It was like $120 a year. I think that got you 10 barrel aged beers,
that, yeah.
plus a couple glasses. You had to be either within the Ottawa location or because they didn't deliver back then. This is before COVID. So you had to be close enough to the Ottawa location or the Toronto Distribution Center, which happened to be 5 minutes from my condo in Etobicoke. So I signed up.
I wonder why.
So I signed up for my second. I signed up for the second year of it. I didn't go for the third year because, frankly, it wasn't good because they were just barrel aging anything. It was literally just like, we are going to try. Well, the thing is, it frustrated me because they would do really interesting things. At least that sounded interesting. They'd be like, okay, we're going to take this stout and we're going to age it in tequila barrels. We're going to age it in whiskey barrels. We're going to age it in this kind of barrels. And then we're just going to mix it all together and add some lager to it just for fun. It's like, why would you do this?
Jesus. I had one weird variation of Screaming Beaver double IPA. I had a barrel aged version of that, and I was just like, no, you're taking
barrel aging an IPA is always a weird dumb idea.
Like the hops were faded on it. Let me finish. It was the hops were like super faded on it, and I'm like, you're taking away one of the best parts of the beer. By simply aging it in something. And that's kind of like the moment I really discovered that because I mean, I was still, even though I was doing beer reviews at the time, I was still very much a novice at it all. But again, that like some of my a lot of my first experiences with various different types of beers, like Gruit and Saison and a whole bunch of others that were with Bose doing these experimental brews, and I missed that. That was a fucking great time to be a beer drinker.
Barnstormer did a barrel aged version of their Flight Delay IPA that I had one of, and like why would you barrel age a fucking IPA? Straight up, that's just like the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. And then going back to Bose, I don't know if I'm sure Greg, Nick being further away, maybe. But Greg, do you remember when they almost just before they did the whole employee thing, they'd started up their barrel aging? It was like a separate brand. I believe it's called Halcyon. I had at least one beer by them that a certain ex-friend of mine brought over, and
I think I had one of those at Chad's.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I had a Halcyon at Chad's.
Yeah, they started up this new, like, the premium brewery kind of line, their barrel aging stuff, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore. But
I don't think I don't. I mean, maybe I've had one or two of their beers. I can't recall. I've had a lot of barrel aged Bose beers. I don't recall it being under a different brand though.
No, fair enough.
Chad's saying, remember, Van Cleek Hill is considered a French settlement, which is why it's just Van Cleek. More cows than people is always a joke. No, before I try to preface this before the response, like Chad is originally from Arnprior, so he is from the area.
Yeah, I'm closer.
More cow is than people.
I'm Dalkeith. Dalkeith is about 20 minutes from Van Cleek Hill.
But Burnt Rock Vanilla Porter was fucking good. Back when
that was pretty good,
used to make that, yeah.
Anyways, Van Cleek Hill is super bilingual, yes. But the area itself, like, it's close to the border, so Hawkesbury is like mostly French. Van Cleek Hill is I find bilingual. Alexandria is very bilingual, and then all the surrounding towns are very English. And a big reason is because it's like an original Scottish settlement, so there's a lot of Scots around the area. And yes, there's a lot of farmers. Town itself, though, it's really cool. Like going through there is kind of like going like through a portal. Like it hasn't really aged.
I feel like a name like Van Cleek is more Scottish than French. Chris Evergrey says. I've been enjoying Bavaria Extreme 10.5 ABV. Somebody's getting shit faced tonight.
You've been enjoying that?
You've been enjoying that? Wow.
I want to know about what I actually want to know about Chris Evergrey, however you pronounce that name, is what kind of jacket is he wearing? He looks like he has a very warm jacket in that photo. I want to know more about it.
Tell us what jacket that is in your photo.
Yeah. Let us know what jacket that is.
Greg's a jacket nerd. So
it's getting cold. I want to know what kind of jackets people are wearing.
What's going to survive the quest to Welland? A certain Princess Auto.
That's right. That's true.
Bose Burroughs burnt out at its creative, faded away into a boring brewery. That is sadly accurate.
Yeah, and now they're owned by Steam Whistle. And let's be honest. So Steam Whistle, they tried to branch out to other beers. Their other beers suck. and it hurt their main beer as well because for whatever reason, the quality of that suffered.
It's so stupid
So
because they used to be able to make everything good, pretty much, and now they can't.
Yeah, so now they went back. I mean, their beer's pretty good now. You do occasionally get a bad batch, which is still disappointing because really you shouldn't have a bad batch when it's the only beer they make. I'd
still drink a Lug Tread any day if I were handed it, you know.
Like
Oh,
in
well,
a brewery,
Lug Tread,
quality,
a very
quality
basic
control should be just like you're paying. Someone's getting paid to have a couple beers every couple days, like quality, to making sure things are right and like testing things like New Ontario doesn't even exist anymore here in North Bay. It's Wildwoods now, but they used to. They're still like, from what I've tried, like wildly inconsistent from batch to batch. But like when New Ontario was in their old location, I bought a growler of their English Pale Ale and brought it home and, hey, I'm gonna have a pint of beer, poured it, and it was fucking sour. Like it was so absolutely fucked, and like just the people brewing is one of those things where you like. But I brewed a beer with the albino rhino at the Cayman Kettle, and the guy he was like the sanitizer solution with the spray bottle, just spraying the fuck out of one little invasive microbe gets into your fucking brew, it can ruin everything. Like you have to be,
breweries have so much trouble with yeast in their breweries. Like if they're not careful and use the right, like don't use rogue strains of yeast. Like I've heard of breweries that completely ruin themselves because they end up using like ringwood yeast or something like that, and it ends up infecting other batches. Because
and some of it, when it's feeding and stuff, a little particle of it, like kind of like a mushroom spore.
Well, a little spore of it will fucking spread
and drift into the next tank, and there you go. You're fucked. Yeah.
Yep. The same thing with like lactobacillus,
any
sour
of those
other beers.
Yep.
Cause things prone to infection and shit.
Whatever the fuck one is. Yeah, for sure.
Daughter-in-laws live in Van Cleek Hill, live right near the high school. Oh, yeah, that's cool. So maybe he is closer.
No, I'm still closer. Just because our family there. Literally, Dalkeith is like 20 minutes, not even from Van Cleek Hill.
You literally cannot be closer than Lady Lee without living. Unless you live in Van Cleek Hill, then you're closer than Lady Lee is.
It's just one of those things. Like, no, I actually live in the area. That's literally why I got the placement in Van Cleek Hill. Sorry, frustrating.
Lego Tread. Yeah. Lego Tread. Remember, what's his face? Chris Peters used to kill those women and then drink Lego Tread.
I don't know if there's any used to about those kill those women. I'm pretty sure you're still at
it. Greg, who's this guy? Bylog. Looks like average Joe.
That's just Joe commenting under my name.
Yeah, Steam Whistle is Canada's premium pilsner and the best pilsner. Yeah,
he spelled premium wrong.
Yeah, no, that's the best pilsner in the Maritimes. I think is not Moosehead. Definitely not Moosehead. At least not since they fired brand ambassador Scott Myers.
I'm just going by what Hughley Beer Review says. I mean, that used to be the Bible for beer reviews.
Yeah, Stillwell Pils is probably the best one I've ever had from the Maritimes, and that's one I know Lee fucking loves. But I will also say, I'm sorry, I like Steam Whistle. Sorry.
Steam Whistle's a good pilsner, but again, the quality control isn't as good as it should have been. I fully believe that if Lee tried, I think Lee did try it. I'm assuming he's not just pulling this out of his butt. He probably had a bad can of it. And to be fair, there shouldn't be bad cans of it. Their quality control should be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, they had those freshness seals for the longest time.
Oh, that was such bullshit. That was during COVID. That it's just like, shit. If you just buy this at the LCBO and you just have to like go out of the store, just chug the can, which admittedly a lot of people do that after they buy from the LCBO. There's a lot of alcoholics. But anyway,
they keep in the fridge.
So it's like, you just rip that seal off and then that can is just super fresh. There's no COVID on that whatsoever.
Holy crap, we got 7 viewers. Wow, that's cool.
I know. It's
going down.
Only one of them is me.
Down, bitches. All right, do we want to finish, start talking about our thoughts on these beers?
I think so. I think we have thoughts.
All right, let's have some thoughts, starting with beard thoughts. Yes. So how's that stock here is drinking?
Deep thoughts.
Curious. Deep thoughts with your bearded friend.
That's my first drink of my second beer, and this is fucking weird.
Okay.
Wow, this is a can of Mr. October. Again, just called a fest beer from that field. And this isn't the one I drank, so let's just pretend that isn't a thing. The other one, the can of which I brought to the other sink and have already rinsed. Yeah, it was not bad. Just almost like a bit of a more malty lager with like kind of a hoppy bite going on, like not kind of any kind of tropical fruity or anything, just like a little bit of a bite, if it makes any sense. It was honestly like, well, it wasn't a Marzen, obviously, at all. But whatever their Bavarian style fest beer they were going for, I couldn't tell you if it's a good example of the style, because I don't know if I've ever even had that style before. But as far as my tongue goes, it says, I'll have another, please, sir. Another. Might work if you wanted to have one more drink before terrorists took over your plane and flew it into a tower that has a twin. Let's say style-wise, 8. I have no idea. Personal enjoyment, also 8, surprisingly. That was a damn tasty fest beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it was an 8 and a 7?
No.
8?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew you said 8.
Yeah.
I was busy thinking my own beer. Sorry. All right. Let's go over to Laylee. Laylee, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm
How's-
okay.
How's that Oktoberfest drinking? Out of Creamore.
So I was reading it, like reading the can. It says caramel colored, medium body, dry finish. It says an Oktoberfest celebratory lager. So it adds that little bit of that caramelly taste to it, to a lager, but it does taste like a lager with a little bit more of I don't want to say like that fake sweetness, but a little bit more of a sweetness. I think from that caramelly taste. I could be talking out of my ass and not know because I just read that and my mind just thinks it. But it's not bad. Like it's actually, I haven't been drinking fast because I have to go to school in the morning. But overall, like I do think it's a pretty good tasting. Like it has it's a very basic taste. Like there's nothing about it that's offensive. There's nothing about it that's like creative or like in your face or anything like that, which makes it a really good, just like basic beer that if I was at a festival, I probably would gravitate towards this because like you don't get that acid reflexy when you get some of the fancier stuff. You don't get that like weird after bitter taste with other beers. Like it's just a basic smooth going down beer. So it's not like exciting. So it's not my favorite, but it's not it just a good basic beer. So I don't know what to vote it like just for style, like an Oktoberfest beer. Like I don't know. I've never had one, so I really am not undersure. Like I really don't know what to compare it to. I just realized there's like a big stain on my glasses. Oh my goodness, my glasses are so dirty. So I don't know. If this is like Oktoberfest style, I guess I can go off of it. But I guess from the description like Lee gave me, it's not all there, but it does have like a darker color. So I would say style-wise, I'll say I'll give it a 7 because it does taste more like a basic lager to me, but it has like something to it that made it like a little different, but nothing that's. Had you given it to me, I would have thought it was a lager. Like I wouldn't have thought anything different. Preference. It's actually pretty decent. I think I'd go like 8 because this is one I know that I could drink a lot of and I wouldn't have any issues because there's some beers that I really enjoy and unfortunately they get me with the heartburn. But this one just goes down smooth. It doesn't have any offensive aftertaste. It doesn't have anything that like wants me to kick it out of bed. So it's a very mediocre beer that I'm enjoying. I could enjoy on a consistent basis. Greg, I made a fucking joke for you. You didn't even listen to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll
I
watch
wasn't
back
paying
on the
attention.
replay.
It was perfectly
was-
down. Like, gave you a fucking watermelon. You still swing and a miss.
I don't know. I heard you say earlier that about going down beer, but I didn't want to be like offensive to you and stuff because I don't you're a lady and I wish to treat you as such.
Okay. I don't know if there's supposed to be what is an ice beer? I see this in the comments, and I've seen ice as titles. What is an ice beer?
It's
Internal
basically
combustion
they-
engine beer.
After
we
they
go.
brewed the beer, they'll freeze, they'll cool the beer down below freezing temperature, and then skim the ice off to make the beer itself stronger.
I've been
Makes sense?
educated. Thank you.
All right.
That is my review. The end.
Nice.
Happy everyone was listening.
I liked your review.
You weren't even fucking listening.
He wasn't even paying attention.
Hey! And listen, I didn't interrupt you, so let's look at the positives, okay? So,
All right.
anyways.
Great turn. Thanks, Lee.
It's
the most scripted show on YouTube.
Yes, it is. First of all, everyone, look at Bella and look at Arnold. Very cute. Arnold, we've had him for 5 years today, so
Happy Gotcha Day.
yay to him. And Bella, we didn't even mean to keep her. So Bella, you just wormed your way into our life.
Way to make her feel good, you know.
Yeah, I like to ruin Bella's self-confidence
She's the
whenever I
chosen
can.
one, though.
So, well, she's the one that always sleeps with me every night. So no one else does, including my wife.
There could be only one.
That's my choice. I like having a bed to myself before, and then she kicks me in my sleep too. Not cool. But anyway, that's a tangent.
I feel like that's probably pretty fucking deserved overall. Like,
It's probably
I have
not the
I have no doubt if you and I ever slept together, you'd kick me in my sleep too. But it would be like while you were awake, you just full on just pump me in the head.
first-
Wake up next to a dead, brutalized body of Greg. What happened? I don't know.
Anyways, guys, let's be serious here. So,
You serious?
Serious? Fuck
not
that.
the beer I'm reviewing, but I happen to quite like this. This is a pretty good Marzen.
I
in
like
my
that
opinion.
can. That's a cool.
It's
That's a very. It's very. Is that
GLB,
Great Lakes
they-
one? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's Great Lakes. They tell you a little bit about it.
It's very simplistic for that brewery, especially.
Yeah, well, they kind of do it. I think it's like supposed to be the the Bavarian style or whatever.
I like it.
but
I like it. Looks good.
But and in my opinion, it's good. I'm not a big Oktoberfest or Marzen person, but in my opinion, this is a good one. And you can see what it looks like. You can see what this one looks like. One of these things is not like the other.
Are they
Mine's
both?
like
Are they both supposed to be a Marzen?
Oh yeah, they're both supposed to be Marzens.
Because the one on the
Wow,
right,
big
from
gas
what
difference.
Lee was saying, Melly in the chat, the one on the right looks way more like
What it
fucking
should look like.
Marzen.
Yeah,
Like that's,
this one looks
that's
like
what
a
the
Yeah.
big glass has got the Great Lakes, right?
yeah. That's Great Lakes. That looks like a Marzen.
Yeah.
This one
it does.
does. This one does not so much look like a Marzen.
That looks
Well,
like
either
one,
one, I
of
feel
my-
like maybe
one of
that
my
one,
fest
the-
beers.
Oh,
Sorry,
the
Greg, go ahead. Sorry.
GLB, I feel like maybe it's a bit too dark. The other one, I feel is way too light.
Well,
Either way,
I'll tell
they
you-
both look good.
Just can't.
I'll tell
make-
you. I'll tell you. It translates into taste too, because generally a Marzen, you don't think it's going to be a particularly hoppy beer. This one comes off as a hoppy beer. If you were to hand this to me and not tell me what it is, I would probably guess it's an IPL, like an Imperial Pale Lager, or it could be like a Pilsner. But usually Pilsners aren't this hoppy, but sometimes they are. Like sometimes craft Pilsners can be pretty hoppy. So, but this to me would be something in the pale ale family, but not a true pale ale, more like an IPL where it's got that IPA or pale ale IPA taste, but it's more watery. It's not quite as full bodied. That's kind of what I get from this.
Did you say Imperial Pale Lager?
Probably yes. I've had a few beers at this point. So
I assume you meant in India pale lager.
no, listen. We don't bring racism into this show, Redbeard. So let's leave that away.
May I say I'm simplistic for a brewery.
Wow.
Like I'm simping on Great Lakes. I'm assuming is what he's saying, but they're a great
cheers for
brewery.
days.
Like
cheers.
they've made some beers I don't like, but overall, like here in Ontario, they are just the straight up best value for money craft beer you're gonna find.
I mean, he's not wrong. Somebody get Morgan Freeman in here. Anyways, so I like this beer. I don't mind it at all, but this is not, in my opinion, Oktoberfest. Like, it doesn't taste like Oktoberfest. If you give this to me blind, there's probably about 10 different styles I would guess before I even came close to an Oktoberfest. Because to me, an Oktoberfest is usually pretty malty. This is not very malty at all. It's thin and it's a little hoppy, grassy. Like I think an IPL is what it reminds me of. An imperial pale lager, and that's the wordage I'm sticking with. So in terms of style, that's definitely going to hurt it because it's just not an Oktoberfest or it's not a Marzens. At least in my opinion, it's not. So I can't go any higher than a 5 on the style. My own personal enjoyment. Now, here's the tricky part: is that when I review beers, I usually don't bring up the price, because I like to go by taste, but I want to go by price because I paid for these beers. So I bought 3 beers when I was there because that's all they had. They had an IPA too, but it was sold out. Rude.
I know, right?
So Bavarian Sunset Marzen. Then I got a nice Hombre Mexican lager, and they're all in the same can. They're just labeled differently. And then a Lift Bridge. I think it's just a light lager or whatever. They're all in the 4%, except for the Marzens, which is 5.8%. And they just standardly, they don't even have different prices for them. They just standardly charge $4.50 each for each can, which already a little expensive. And on top of that, they charge tax for that too. So for these 3 beers was like $16. I was like, fuck you guys.
You know what? Randomly, last time I was in the beer store, there's a sign in the beer store saying they're no longer showing the tax in price. For I don't know why. But beer stores, I guess, now are showing like that's where I have to go to return my cans. And I never buy anything there. But I'm just seeing a sign that says, but I guess the convenience stores are doing that. Their prices don't include tax. Whereas like the LCBO and the grocery stores, the price you see on that can of beer is the price you pay. And it's just,
I mean, like, I wish they would standardize it. Like either give us the all-in price or don't give us the all-in price and just charge us tax like everything else does. I just don't like, I'm not a big fan of like, hey, some places charge tax, some places don't, some places show the all-in price, some places don't. Not a big fan. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make, this is not a $5.50 can of beer. You know, for $5.50, I'd expect at least 10%. Imperial stout. I mean, considering Double Tempest is like fucking, I forget what they work out to be like something like $11 or $12 a can at this point. It's like, and you're telling me this beer is worth half that? It is not worth half that.
It's getting like that here too.
Was $4.95. Sorry, go ahead.
It's getting like that here too when you go to like the brewery and buy a beer. Like if I go to Long Bay, sure they got a good selection of beers. They have some good house beers. They also carry a selection of brewery beers from around the province. Thanks, Craig, for paying attention. But they're $5 a can. They're $5 a can. Then they want to ask you for a tip when you check out. I'll give them $1, but the whole thing is like it's $5 for a fucking can, and I'm buying a lager, like a plain basic lager. I mean, beer prices are getting a little out of hand right now. Like I don't feel like I should be paying $5 for a fucking pale lager.
I went to the place here in town, the Opera Bakery, the Culture Club, whatever it is, that has a beer fridge. And you have to buy some food and take it home. And like I went there and bought 4 cans of beer. And I think 2 of them are like small cans of beer. And then you have to buy some food. So I bought some $12 little package of like little mini pepperettes. And the bill was $46.
So
Jesus.
And like I like but the chick that runs the place is really nice, and like we have like a bit of a like talking about random like things she brings in into the farming and stuff like that, and like I didn't want I'm like I didn't like, excuse me, but yeah, I think I'm not going to go back there for a little bit at this point because that just seemed outrageous.
Seems a lot-
And going back,
a lot.
but Lee, I didn't realize that the joke that's been made so many times that you made.
You're a joke that's been made so many
missed it.
times.
There you go.
Oh,
I missed it. So,
all right. Speaking
And-
of which,
yeah.
Greg, what was
He's
your
an imperial joke.
Yeah.
score in that beer?
My final score, I don't dislike it. In fact, I like it more than I do like some Oktoberfest because they're not really always my style. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's fine. If I were to take price into account, I'd give it like a 3 because absolutely do not buy this beer. Like honestly, you're paying tourist prices for this beer, and Welland is not a tourist area. I'm sorry,
You're a
you can try
tourist.
to. I am a tourist. People come visit me and then they leave very quickly because they realize it's not that great. But yeah,
Tourist
but
trap.
again,
You're a tourist trap.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Come visit me and I slash your tires, and it's like, oh, where are you gonna go now? But yeah, I don't know. Like Welland's again, there's no big problem with Niagara Falls in general. Is everywhere Niagara Falls wants to charge tourist prices. Like Niagara Falls is more expensive than Toronto is for beer. Like you can compare it to almost any brewery, and Niagara Falls is more expensive. And I do get it at the falls because that is a tourist trap area. But again, this is Welland. I don't know. I would say just spend the money, get your vagina sugared instead.
You're the Mississauga tourist trap.
You know what? Welland has a pretty drastic, like, no offense, Chad, you're in the chat. I went to your house. It was
I don't think he cares about his old house.
It was an experience. Welland
has some nice areas, but Welland has some shit areas too.
I was gonna say that I went to the Ashley's place for the Welland piss up, and yeah, I kind of night and day, a little bit kind of thing. I had fun, Chad, but your place then was a little in need of some love.
Oh my goodness! I
I
think we
don't
should
know
just
what-
change
All right.
conversation.
Okay, we're off
I
topic
wonder
here.
what
I
Let's
love you,
keep
man.
going
I'm
with
sorry.
the episode.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you,
Wait,
Greg.
was that his Welland house or his Niagara house? Because I don't remember
Doesn't
having
even
a
matter.
piss
We're
on
just
his
gonna
Welland
move
house.
on with the conversation. It is gone.
Okay,
The place
okay.
with the basement and the knife and all
Let's keep
the
going. Let's keep
God,
going.
my volume down or
faster.
something? Jesus. Fuck. All right, so
He's just
I
casually
literally have to check
streaming the
this, so it's
NHL
probably
game
my-
after.
yeah, here's what's going on. I'm too quiet.
Oh,
we
shit! The
go.
voice got
Holy
I'm
Christ!
the booming voice of Maxwell Star, like I should.
Zeus just
It's
arrived
like
up in this bitch.
my computer on Mac, like it. I don't know. It's something keeps.
Mine
dropping
does the
volume.
same thing all the time, man. It's so annoying.
I fucking
hate
hate
it.
it. Anyway, but I noticed like when I keep getting talked over, it's like it's my volume down. For fuck's sake! Now I can talk over everybody. All right. So, Erdinger's Oktoberfest. I mean, it's completely different from every other beer that's been on this show tonight because of the fact that it's actually a wheat beer, a Hefeweizen. But as far as Hefeweizens go, this is probably the best Hefeweizen that Erdinger makes. And as you know, like Erdinger is one of the most popular brands of Hefeweizen out there, which really isn't saying much. Because I find regular Hefeweizen, while I like it, it's kind of boring because it's so light. Anyway, so this one here comes off like when I poured it, had an ass fuck of ton of head on it, which I'm still burping up. When I drink it, on the other hand, the body actually feels doesn't feel like watery. It just feels like very low in carbonation when you drink the beer, which is kind of a bit of a surprise. I find it like it's definitely more a little sweeter, a little bit more earthy, herbal, and bitter than your normal Erdinger. And on the flavor notes, it actually, first of all, has flavor notes. So, I mean, it's got loads of banana, a little bit of clove, a little bit of caramel. It's got toasted cereal grains. Alcohol at, I think it's 5.7 ABV is particularly well masked on this thing. Of course, you'd think it would be. it's quite tasty. Like I actually really like this. Like as far as I'm concerned, this and Erdinger's Picantis are the best things they make. Well, actually, you know what? The Erdinger Dunkel is pretty tasty too. But
You're pretty tasty.
at the same time, in the same measure. Yes, thank you, Greg. Wow. All right, so oh, stop. All right. okay. So then we lost yours there. All right, so sorry. Talking about. Actually, they probably left when I had that temper tantrum. When I talk about
that was not a temper tantrum.
Hefeweizens. When I talk about Hefeweizens, I've had better Hefeweizens. This thing isn't as light and fluffy as some other Hefeweizens I had. Looking in the corner, I think the Canadians beat the Leafs tonight.
Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, I like the Leafs.
Anyway, so that said.
Nick just casually fucking streaming the NHL game in the background.
Yep, I think this is a tasty Hefeweizen. I do like it. It's one of the reasons I get it every year. I don't think it's the best one out there. I'm gonna give it an 8 for style and 7.5 for overall enjoyment. There's better Hefeweizens one out there. I really friggin' miss. I don't know if you ever had this one, but Koenig Ludwig's Hefeweizen was really friggin' tasty. There was another one I've had from Germany that was really good. And there's, of course, all kinds of local breweries that do like really good ones. Even like Side Launch Wheat, right? I remember being pretty tasty. This is still solid. And it's the best. Probably one of the best from these guys. I do recommend trying this if you do see it. All right. That's my story. So 8 and 7.5. Let's go to Beard so you can read the comments.
All right, let me just. I think we even like touching on them as we go.
Way up because this is like going way back. We haven't read a lot of comments since before the whole response.
No, we were leaving.
Chris read the response for the jacket he's wearing.
Ice category stuff in that.
I think it was.
I think we're back around here probably. Then, yeah, right there. Steam whistle bottled, and then Chris saying old credit moved all the beer
still bottled. You don't like it.
Ice category, ice age now printed on every can, and then Chris has gone down some kind of ice rabbit hole since then. Greg said so bottled the okay ass back when it was still new bread. Okay ass.
Did we read this one? Did we read this one? Old credit moved all their beers into ice category.
I just did. Pay attention, Nick. Christ.
Jesus.
We're like 4 comments down now. Keep going. Read that one. Read that next one. Why, if my offer for Iron Bridge Brewery gets accepted, I will never allow Brett or Lacto in. But none of it would be in an Oktoberfest beer unless your Bo is experimenting.
Make a nice, good, clean lager.
Yeah, Brett and Lacto. If you're doing that kind of stuff with your beers, it needs to be like hermetically sealed away from the other brews because those are that's the shit that you get one little particle in your, it's done.
The Brett, and yes, I've heard Brett is fucking terrible. I mean, I like it in beers, but yeah, it's very niche.
Most breweries build a completely separate room for any of that kind of sour shit. Like it doesn't go anywhere near the rest of the beer.
Ontario did not do that. They were brewing like right now. It was fun.
Sucks.
They're gone. Old Credit has released 18 to 10 years. Founder died. Steam Whistle was the first beer I ever had. Recently noticed the drop off after a few days of age. Off the kit. Really, it drops off after a few days.
I've had the chance to have Steam Whistle right at the brewery itself. It's fucking
and there's no reason
fresh.
What he says, correct regarding aging. Stupid how much better is fresh. More so. I'm assuming, Greg. Marino.
Yeah, he said more so next time.
More so. There we go. I even corrected myself.
No, I saw it. Like I said, I was trash. Beer drops out quickly. Fuck off. Owner's all pretty douchey. One named Greg. Cream of dry spear. No one's dry spear. Oh, Chris snuck it like that. Ice beer done properly by the Euro tradition. In the Euro tradition is often not bad, but
I haven't seen this
really
one.
Trash. Keep scrolling, man.
Here.
Maximum Ice is still one of the best names.
Oh yeah. You get Michael Ironside doing your commercials. That was a
Here's some- and
badass
then-
beer. I
and
never
then-
tried
and then-
Maximum Ice, but
And then a couple, and then rules on Oktoberfest out the window now. Even homebrew German lagers often look like regular lagers now, often just are. Beer for days, all the cheers.
cheers.
And then last price, if anyone makes a 6% Oktoberfest, they've lost the plot. And then yet the same thing with Lee. We got back there. Imperial Peril Lager should make you put your shoes on backwards. I like that.
Okay.
Not just wrong, but backwards. And then Lee explaining, and then they literally, you never actually laughed. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe she was muted and she did that.
And jumped on my phone just so I could back. And then Saskatchewan, something. And Lee's happy. Lee liked his thing. And then if there was ice version, would we get ice card? No, probably not.
Depends if it's an ice Bach, maybe.
Memories of Yankee Jim. The metal was ice. And the ice is baby. Dino charges crazy prices, but the Wellham Brewery is owned by a family that has always charged premiums when the brewery was a coffee house instead.
It'd be Dino, not Dino. Dino's an Italian name.
Yeah, don't fucking Dino, dinosaur, whatever. And then I said the thing. Then Chad, yes, the house I lived in with my ex-wife needed love, especially after I lived alone and paying legal fees and child support. Good thing it sold for $150K more than I bought it for. That's good, man.
Yeah, well, I'll say one thing positive.
Thanks for shaming
Chad
him,
here is
Gary.
that it looked a whole lot better after a year of Chad taking care of it than it ever.
Yeah, it's amazing how the blind guy did a better job cleaning
it.
than a certain somebody who I won't mention because I don't want to get him in trouble in court.
I was not trying to shame him for it.
But I mean, I saw it after like a year after some lady left. That I was like, holy shit. This looks.
And then we got
better.
only a quarter of it, Mary. I'm not sure what this comment here is. And then it's still Sideline. I think Sideline's best beer might be the wheat thing. And then a certain someone has asked a certain question.
Oh,
done.
We will we'll definitely be getting that in a second. So I'm going to circle back around. Gary's already, I think we covered ice beer enough for tonight until the next episode where we'll do an ice beer. No, that's next week's beer. No, it's not. It is not. Next week's beer is going to be a beer we'll reveal after we do this. Gary, of all the beers we had here tonight, which one would you have rather have had?
Have rather have had. You need to rephrase that question. Honestly, I'd be like a coin. I almost said a coin toss between Nick and Greg. So I gotta have something I can toss, right? Here, my old phone. I'm gonna toss my old phone. Screen up, Nick. Screen down, Greg.
Broke.
Nick, I think I might have just cracked it again, but yeah, I got Nick.
Whew. I'm there with a crack. All right, I'm always there with a crack. All right, so
it's always your crack.
Lady Lee, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you have rather have had?
Well, since Greg wasn't listening to me, I'm voting for Nick.
Woo! All righty.
Wow.
Let's go over to Greg.
Where am I even in there? What was that?
You weren't listening to me either. Neither of you were.
You never called me out on it though. Like what the hell?
Because I made a sexual joke that Greg would have appreciated, and he didn't laugh at it. But I knew you weren't paying attention.
I went back and listened
I
to
would
it,
never
and
laugh at some kind of sexual joke like that.
I went back and listened to it, and now you're kicking me out of bed for no
Nice.
reason.
Oh, I'm not kicking you out of bed.
There's
I'm not
always
voting for your
reason to kick Greg out of bed. The smells, the sounds, the
This one just does it because she's like Carrie. She's like built like a fucking spider monkey, and she just has long legs that just kick everywhere. I have a fucking king size bed, and not enough room for this damn dog. Anyways,
not my fault. I turn into Kung Lao when I sleep and do the.
All right.
Story. Well, since it's my turn, and Lady Lee's become nasty about this. Well, I have no choice but to vote for Carrie, just because I can't vote for Nick and I can't vote for Lady Lee. So Carrie gets my vote.
Yay, me.
All right.
Okay, we're the bottom bitches.
Okay, so now it's my turn to vote for what I'd rather try, and I gotta say that the most interesting beer tonight sounded like Carrie's. So the Stockyards, I kept talking about it, like, ooh, a new brewery in Kingston, and the beer sounded a little bit more interesting than, sorry, Lee, way more interesting than Creemore, which I think I've had actually.
I
And
literally
of
said my
course,
beer was boring.
Bridgewater.
The Creamer is actually pretty good. I've had it a few times.
It is good. It's just
I
I'm
didn't
bored.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've had
super-
it before.
I don't know, like the one I had again. It obviously wasn't a Marzen, but it was tasty. I'm not sure what the price of it was at the LCBO, but when I go there next, I might grab another one. Surprisingly, fest beers usually aren't my thing.
So, okay, so let's just say that we have a two-way tie between me and Beard.
Just get Mr. Lee to vote. He's in the chat. Get him
All
to
right,
be the tiebreaker.
with Lee is listening, what do you vote for? Which one would you rather have had, Erdinger or the Stockyards Fest beer?
Is he the one watching? Chris is here. Albino's possibly here. Yeah, a couple
the
votes.
Albino Rhino can vote too.
Or Chris. Chris can vote.
Yeah,
Or Chris.
Chris
we
likes
don't
a
have any ice
non-biased
beers.
vote.
Chris is basically gatekeeping what
Mr.
jacket
Lee
he's
says,
wearing
"My
from Greg
beer."
right now. 'Cause Greg asked about that fucking jacket a while ago, and Chris never replied.
So
Maybe he doesn't know what kind of jacket it was.
So-
So just a green jacket.
Maybe it could just be like some. It might just look really good in the thumbnail, but it's actually some fucking super cheap thing from Walmart or something.
All right.
Which
So
is
Mr. Lee Russell says Nick's beer. Is anybody object?
That's his vote. So that's his vote.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick wins.
All right, I win. Woo! Winner. I'm the winner. With
Got fucking Nick
Can I or
Flair
bottom
over
please?
here.
I'm gonna go grab a new beer and use this one to cut my can in half and kill myself.
Even
because I
if
lost
it's the
this
bottom bitch, I wouldn't kick you out of bed.
Jesus Christ. All right, so
The bottoms tonight.
oh yeah, we read that one. So to answer the magic question of what is next week's beer, drum roll please. Oh, Sapporo. We're doing
Oh.
Sapporo Black Lager.
What does it
Next
say on
week's-
the other side, Nick?
Lager Noir.
Noir. Okay. I thought it said
Noir.
okay.
It's just
We're gonna
French version.
do.
You're okay.
We're doing an actual BA101
One of
next
them
week.
darky
So
beers.
instead of these BYOB episodes that we've been resigned to doing all the time. So yeah, I'm kind of excited because I've had a couple of cans of this already. It's
And for our 7 viewers, I think Lady Lee will be back next week. So stay tuned next week for your, have all your.
Lee's already
fantasies
bought the
fulfilled.
beer.
I bought the next 3 weeks of beers.
Oh,
Ooh,
that'll
Or
just
sorry,
be
2
a
weeks.
poor.
2
nice.
weeks of beers.
If
This
she
was
doesn't
when-
show up, that'll just be a poor investment.
Yeah, I'll give it to my dad.
Hey,
I bought the
we
next
We need your
2,
dad on the show.
'cause today we already did this one. Yeah, I'll bring my dad instead of me.
There you go. We'll
Yeah,
have
instead
a
of you,
Bob
it can be
Hardy.
the Hardy's review of beer.
The
It'll be a
Hardys.
joint effort.
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys. Well,
The Hardy
girl.
Boys. Yeah, right.
Bye, guys.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank everybody for
Well,
watching.
that awkward.
We got Lee Russell, we got Rob Boulay, the Albino Rhino, and Chris F. Grave, and what was his name? Beers for Days.
Rob
Hopping
is
in
my
tonight
friend.
to check us out. I don't know if they're all still here, but I want to thank them for watching, and also I want to thank Jamie for watching on the replay. So let's have a good night, and Carrie is slacking in his duties of putting.
That's fine.
All right. normal
If you want to see
message
Penis,
on
subscribe
screen.
to Nick's OnlyFans.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Not yet, but you will now.
I don't have an OnlyFans. Lee, do you have an OnlyFans?
No.
No.
No, now I never have one, nor can I have one, nor do I ever look at one that I have because I cannot have one. And will I ever
Secretly,
do
you're
one?
right.
I mean,
No.
yeah. I mean, definitely don't type Lady
No.
Lee OnlyFans into Google. That
No.
definitely nothing will come up.
No, you'll
but
definitely
you're
find stuff. but you don't
definitely-
me.
Yeah, definitely don't do that at work. And Carrie, yeah,
Oh
there
my
we go.
fucking
There
God.
we go.
We are not disappointed. Have a good night, folks. We will talk to you folks later.
Hey! Some other Leo with an OnlyFans is going to get some free subscribers tonight, so good for her.